Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the Victoria ISD Board will appoint one applicant to fill the District 2 trustee seat.
The trial for a man accused of driving to Dallas to kill his girlfriend's husband begins today.
And a small plane crashes into a home in Austin, near Austin actually.
We had a few more showers roll around the afternoon. You can see right about there, but there's a bigger one up here up the road on 59. Those of you out here toward Hallettsville need to watch out for that. Should be coming to you. In the next couple of days, a few showers, but more dust coming from Sahara. We'll talk more about that in a moment.
And a Little League team from Industrial had a game today against Colorado. We see how they did in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
According to Victoria Police, a white Mitsubishi Mirage headed north on Moody Street was struck by a black sedan at the intersection of Moody and Constitution Streets near downtown. The impact of the collision causes the Mirage to spin and hit a nearby pole. Thankfully, no injuries reported and no citations were issued.
5 Cedar Hill police officers are on administrative leave after shooting a man they say was suspected of shooting another man at a medical building Tuesday afternoon. KXAS reports an officer arriving at the clinic told responding officers about seeing a man armed with a long gun leaving the scene. After a chase, 5 officers reported seeing the man in a vehicle with the long gun and that all of them fired at him. The man was then transported to a hospital where he was listed in critical condition. Dallas police investigating a police officer involved shooting this afternoon. Authorities said officers working near Love Field were watching a stolen U-Haul truck when they saw a man get into a cab. The man saw the officers looking at him and slammed the truck into the surveillance vehicle. He then tried to escape. A car chase ended in a shootout. Authorities say the man fired at the pursuing officer and the officer returned fire before the man was finally taken into custody.
A man accused of driving to Dallas to kill his high school girlfriend's husband in a murder-for-hire plot on trial today. KXAS reports 49-year-old Darren Ruben Lopez gunned down Jennifer Faith's husband outside their home in October 2020. Jennifer Faith said she was having an affair with her high school boyfriend, who authorities said drove from Tennessee to Dallas to kill her husband. The victim's wife pleaded guilty to helping find her husband's killer as well as planning his death.
And let's take a quick pause on the news and go to the weather with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis.
Well, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see right here, we got up into the 90s, but 99 in Port Lavaca. That's pretty warm. Didn't get any clouds or any showers. Victoria at 97, Gonzales at 102, and no, Kennedy was not 80 degrees high today. Their thermometer's broken and they better fix it pretty soon. We'll be back to talk about the additional showers and possibly the dust from Africa rolling into our area a little bit later on. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. The Victoria ISD Board of Trustees accepted Dr. Estela de los Santos' resignation on July 5th. They will appoint a new person to fill her position today. 25
News Now reporter Adarius McCormick is live at Victoria ISD Administration Building with more.
Well done, and Karina, the community votes for the district's Board of Trustees. However, the District 2 trustee will be appointed in this case. We spoke with 2 applicants, Emmett Alvarez and Andrew Rakovich, just yesterday. Alvarez says he wants students to be successful, not just graduates. His main goal is to get students from K through 12 into the workforce or higher education. Rakovich says the board needs someone with his views. He sees the board as a one-sided group that does not truly represent Victoria. We got a statement from the last applicant, Bridget Marshall. She plans to put her experience as an educator to use, while the other 2 plan to use their economic experience. And we asked you, the viewers, just yesterday, who do you think should be appointed? And you guys voted for Andrew Rakovich. I'll have an update on who the winner is later in 25 News Now 10. Reporting live in Victoria, I'm Adarius McCormick, KAVU 25 News Now.
Darius, thank you. This brings us to your viewer poll tonight or this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, what issues do you want to see the VISD board focus on? Is it security, curriculum, infrastructure, mental health, or staffing issues? Well, according to these results right here, 35% say security, 34% say curriculum, 5% stand at infrastructure, 3% say mental health, and 23% say staffing issues. We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
The removal of a large live oak tree that collapsed and fell on top of 3 City of Goliad vehicles on June 29th cost the City of Goliad $19,000. The Goliad Advance Guard reports 3 city vehicles were damaged by the fallen tree. Insurance claims have been filed on the 3 city vehicles and a portion of the building that was damaged. Goliad Mayor Brenda Moses said insurance should pay for part of the tree removals. Near Austin, a small plane crashed into the roof of a home in Georgetown Monday.
The 3 people on the plane all walked away from the crash with non-life-threatening injuries. Fortunately, the home was not occupied at the time of the crash.
Morton's stepdad was outside on the porch when he said he heard a sputter, looked up and saw the plane that looked like it was just about 50 feet above him. Without hesitation, he, Morton, and another family member ran across the street to the Georgetown Heights Juan Bridge residential community where the plane crashed into an unoccupied home to help those inside the plane.
We took off outside with no shoes on and across the street and saw the plane, and then we were trying to get through the door.
As Morton's brother-in-law Dylan King was trying to kick the front door of the home in, he says one of the victims from the plane had been able to make it downstairs to let him in the home.
Their plane was in through the attic, and they were crawling around on the roof trying to find a way down. We looked over at the attic ladder. It was beat up and it wasn't really it was in pieces, but they used it to get down.
The Georgetown Fire Department says the pilot and the passengers had flown to Kerrville for breakfast and were on their way back to Georgetown Executive Airport with the runway just about a quarter mile away from the crash when officials say the pilot said they experienced engine trouble.
One of the air traffic controllers I spoke with, he seems to think that the pilot was trying to use Northwest Boulevard here as a landing option. I think the power line scared him away and he just veered away from the apartment complex behind you, and I believe he just had to make that split-second decision.
Georgetown Fire Department says they're grateful the situation wasn't a lot worse, as many of the homes surrounding the crash are occupied.
Drivers who take DuPont Bridge will need to seek alternate routes Wednesday and Thursday. That's due to TxDOT conducting an inspection over the barge canal. The bridge will have restricted access Wednesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The national average price for a gallon of regular gasoline surged by 4 cents on Tuesday to $3.64 a gallon. AAA says that's the biggest one-day increase since June 7th, 2022. But gas prices are much lower today than they were last summer when they spiked over $5 a gallon. Now, this follows a jump in oil prices. AAA Texas reports gas prices in Victoria jumped 10 cents in one day. The average price per gallon now, $3.21.
Wednesday and Friday, Ben Wilson Street will close between Airline Road and Red River Street from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. so that crews can continue pouring concrete. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the $7.2 million Ben Wilson Street Airline Road to U.S. Highway Business 59 project.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. In North Carolina, 3 men found dead have been identified as Marines.
Also ahead, business owners in Dallas collect reward money for helping to capture a suspect.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. On Sunday, July 16th, around 11:20 p.m., a shooting occurred at a residence at the 4100 block of Callis Street. A 34-year-old male resident was shot by an unknown male after a fight between the 2 men took place at the location. The suspect is described as a black male with a scruffy beard, dreadlocks, with the last seen running to a white car. The victim was transported to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. If you have any information, call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Three men found dead inside a car in North Carolina were from nearby Camp Lejeune. It says all three held the rank of Lance Corporal, and their names are Tanner Kaltenberg, Marax Dockery, and Ivan Garcia. The Corps says Kaltenberg was 19 years old and the others were 23. The Pender County Sheriff's Office says deputies found their bodies in a vehicle at a gas station Sunday morning. Autopsy results are pending. No foul play suspected at this time.
A former U.S. Marine from Texas freed from Russia in a prisoner swap last year was injured while fighting in Ukraine. The State Department says Trevor Reed has been taken to a hospital in Germany. The state government said Reed was not acting on behalf of the U.S. government. Reed was released from Russian custody in exchange for a Russian pilot in prison in the U.S. for a drug trafficking conspiracy.
Some Dallas business owners recently collected reward money.
This after the couple helped capture a suspect wanted for a kidnapping.
This is jail video of Leonard Neal, accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl. But cops couldn't find him, posted his picture, prayed someone would recognize him, then call them. Brianna and Kenyatta Jordan told me that is exactly what they did.
I know that if there was him, he needed to get off the streets.
The couple said they saw Neal's face online on billboards on the news, recognized it earlier this month when they saw him get on a DART bus, called 911, followed the bus until officers caught up and pulled him off. The Jordans said they did not know there was a reward for information leading to Neal's arrest. When friends told them, the parents of 6, pinching pennies before the school year, got excited.
Every dime I get go towards my babies.
But the Jordans told me Crime Stoppers told them they wouldn't get a dime because instead of leaving a tip with the Crime Stoppers hotline, they called 911.
If I knew about, calling the Crime Stoppers, I still would have called 911 first.
I think my first reaction would have been called 911 as well.
A couple small business owners, as it turns out, heard the Jordans' story, thought they did the right thing. So they called each other to come up with a plan to help.
So Brad called Chip. Brad and Chip called Cameron, Cameron called Scott, and then Scott called Steve. Is that how it went?
Pretty much how
Somewhere around there.
The folks you see talking to me own Riddell Plumbing, Complete Fire Protection, and CC Carpet. Nonprofit Texas First Responders are on the call too. Together, they sent a $5,000 check to the Jordans and asked me to play him a message.
You guys are the heroes.
I want to thank y'all personally.
And it's my honor too to contribute.
It's something that they should be rewarded for.
We want to help and make it right.
The Jordans did what they thought was the right thing to do, just never expected the way these 6 strangers would too.
They had no obligation whatsoever.
I appreciate that.
Pack the Bus registration underway for children in need of school supplies. You can register to receive supplies online on the Faith Family Church website at myfcc.com/packthebus. Supplies will also be given Saturday, August 5th at the Faith Family location on Mockingbird. For questions about registration, stop by Faith Family Church Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon or contact Stephanie Kadingo at 361-573-2484.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What you're looking at here is Saharan dust. Yes, big desert sand blowing across the Atlantic. And guess what? It's going to be visiting our area over the next few days. Yeah, you'll be seeing that in the air as well, in addition to maybe a couple more showers. We'll talk more about that coming up after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. 95 degrees. Yes, it's warm, it's humid, but we did have a few clouds and a couple of showers out there this afternoon. 97 was our high today. That's much closer to what we're supposed to be, you know, average July kind of stuff. And we're kind of out of that oppressive heat that we've had for, I don't know, a month or so. The current high temperatures around the area, Wharton got up to 98. Port Lavaca got up to 99. That's amazing, being right there in the water. Gonzales 102, and Kennedy, no. Kennedy did not have an 80 degree. Their thermometer's broken, and it's at the airport, and somebody's get up there and fix it pretty soon, because I'm not going to keep reporting temperatures like that. Here's the showers that came in for the afternoon hours. You can see them right about there. And then the heavier stuff actually popped up here along with the Wharton area. And you can see how even that is decreasing at this hour. So these daily afternoon showers caused by heating, they pop up at 2, 3 o'clock, and then by 6 or 7, they all sort of collapse. And we should be fairly quiet for the evening. Notice that it's just us getting any activity. Killeen, Waco, Austin, they have no idea what a cloud looks like. I mean, it's been so long. So we go across to the Atlantic to Africa. You see right about here, all the dust being kicked up by those collapsing storms. Well, now that plume has made it across the Atlantic, and it's already in the Caribbean and in the Gulf. This does suppress storm activity. That's why it's probably going to suppress our chances for additional showers as we get into the weekend, but you'll be seeing it out here. Now, TCEQ put out an advisory for people that have Respiratory problems. If you have respiratory problems, you don't want to be breathing this stuff in, so they're encouraging you to wear one of those N95 masks. And if you have allergies to dust or mites or anything like that, you might be affected by it. So I'm telling you that because if you all of a sudden are getting all teary-eyed, that might be the cause. Well, for the next few days, the Dome of Doom is moving north a little bit, giving us a chance of getting some actual shower activity around the area. So we go to Thursday, we've got that activity possible. We go all the way into Friday, it's dimming a little bit. Saturday, it's dimming a little bit. And then Sunday, it's dimming a little bit, so we're going to decrease the rain chance. But then early next week, we get a big bloom coming back in, so we may have additional showers out there. Now, in the Atlantic, we have 3 separate systems that possibly could develop. This is number 1 right off the coast of Florida, which is not expected to be a tropical storm yet. However, they're watching it. The other one is right over the Caribbean islands right about now. And the third one is below the dust down here off the Cape Verde Islands. So it's still active, still busy, but it's July, remember. The curve goes up in August and we peak in September. So for those of you in Port Lavaca, we start off at 81 up to 94 as a high temperature, fairly light winds, but yeah, you have a chance for a couple more showers tomorrow. And then in Cuero, we also have a chance of 1 or 2 little showers. These are all garden varieties that pop up in the late afternoon hours. So we decrease then on Thursday and Friday, and then we get that dry, hot period before next week. Hopefully, we'll get another surge of tropical moisture, getting us some additional rain. That's your 7-day forecast. I want to remind everybody we do have a QR code, and it looks like, it's a little square thing with a lot of funny, it looks funny. And you scan that with your phone, and it puts Crossroads Today right on your cell phone. If it's a smartphone. Now, it's a dumb phone. Well, that's a whole other problem. Anyway, that is it from the weather front. We'll toss it back to Karina and Don.
Thank you, Mac. And now let's go to Sports Director Gino Perez.
Thanks, Karina. The Dallas Cowboys are signing a 2-time Pro Bowler to a 5-year deal. Find out who after the break. Out of Crossroads, Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James and his family had a scare early this morning in a situation involving their 18-year-old son. A family spokesperson says potential NBA prospect Bronny James suffered cardiac arrest and is now out of the intensive care unit and is in stable condition. According to the statement, Bronny's heart suddenly stopped beating on Monday at the University of Southern California. He is an incoming freshman for the school's basketball team, and Bronny was one of the top high school basketball players before graduating this spring. The Industrial Major League Softball team, also known as Texas East, is staying alive with its hopes to make it to the Little League World Series. The girls from Industrial took on the state champion from Colorado, and it was pure domination. From the jump, the girls in gray had a conga line at the plate, hitting double after triple after double to bring in 4 runs in an instant to go up 4-0 after just the first inning of play. Texas East continued to add to it and scored 8 runs in total while only allowing 1. Now East Texas will play New Mexico tomorrow at 10 a.m. The game can be watched on ESPN+. The Victoria Generals are back home tonight against the Brazos Valley Bombers to start the 2-game series against its rivals. The Generals are on a 3-game win streak where the Victoria Ball Club averages just over 9 runs a game during the win streak. The Generals have beaten the Bombers in 5 of the last 7 games that they have played. Victoria will be at home for the next 3 games, featuring 2 games against the Bombers, then followed by the Acadiana Cane Cutters on Thursday. These are the last 3 home games for the Generals and the only 4 games remaining in the regular season. The game is tonight at 7:05 at Riverside Stadium. Last night, the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros game came down to the last throw. The 2 ball clubs exchanged haymakers early on, with each team scoring multiple runs early on based off of this shot off the wall there and home runs. This high-scoring game was kept close by Chas McCormick, who went 2 for 3 and totaled a home run and 6 RBIs. Both of his hits went off the top of the wall, one of which hit the yellow line in the left field, which was finally considered a home run. The deciding run came in the bottom of the 9th when Yainer Diaz comes to the plate, hits a single to right field, and bring home Kyle Tucker for the win. The 2 will play tonight at 7:10. The Astros are now only 2 games behind the Rangers. The Dallas Cowboys are keeping its sure-handed cornerback for the next 5 years. According to ESPN, the Cowboys signed the former Alabama corner to a 5-year deal worth $97 million. The 2-time Pro Bowler is getting $21.5 million in a signing bonus. The Cowboys are also in contract negotiations with 6-time All-Pro guard Zach Martin, who did not report to training camp because he's unhappy with the lack of interest in restructuring his contract. Martin is a team captain on the team and rated a 99 rating in the newest Madden video game. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. We're going to be back in a moment. The Ohio State Fair has returned, and so has the fair's famous butter sculptures.
Association Mideast unveiled the 2023 Butter Cow Sculpture Tuesday, and it's a tribute to Ohioans who have changed the world with their inventions. The display is made from 2,000 pounds of butter and features innovators including Ohio native Thomas Edison. A team of Ohio-based sculptors spent 360 hours in a 46-degree cooler to create this year's Butter Cow display. This is a tradition that has been around since the early 1900s. And these sculptures, by the way, come in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large.
Lard.
That Edison with the Victrola?
Yes, yes.
And a cow is listening to the Victrola, his master's voice.
That's right. Those are exquisite. There's a very small margin for error.
Oh. Hopefully the temperature stays cold.
Yes.
We wish them a lot of luck. Anyway, folks, we are looking at a chance for additional showers tomorrow and then decreasing as we get into Thursday, Friday. You will be noticing the Saharan dust in the air over the next couple of days. It'll give you more of a red sundown. But those of you who have breathing problems, just consider that that's going to be around for a couple of days. So Saharan dust, if you have respiratory issues, that's a concern.
All right. Thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.